I be close to you? Ooh, ooh.
You good? Ready? Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is John Homan. I'm Jake's uncle. We are gathered here to celebrate with Kirsty and Jake right? You proclaim your love and commitment for one another. All of you have had a role in leading us down this path to this joyful occasion. Some of you are family members. Some of you are friends. Some of you are loved ones. And you all had a role in their lives. And now we're here to help direct them? No. Influence them as individuals. And now we're coming together as you guys join forever. I ask that all of you pledge your continued love and support as Kirsty and Jake enter this new adventure. Kirsty, Jake, welcome to your wedding day. What a beautiful day it is to celebrate your love. You'll likely not remember much of anything that I'm going to say today, which I understand is a lot like when we're together normally, right? But right now, what I'd like for you guys to do is take a deep breath. And I want you to turn around and look at everybody that's here to be with you today. So, the bride and groom has asked that we take a moment to remember those that couldn't be here with us today, rather because of distance, like Kirsty's grandfathers, Doug Millington and Matthew Thompson, and Jake's grandmothers, Regina LaSalle and Sherilyn Homan. We also want to remember those that have gone before us. In particular, Dr. Jim LaSalle, Jake's grandfather, Kirsty's grandmother, Noreen Thompson, and Kirsty's aunt, Allison Gallagher. Though they might be physically present with us today, they're with us in spirit and will ever be part of our lives and our shared memories. As you can tell, family is very important to Kirsty and Jake. And I know when they asked me, and I told you I was going to puddle, when they asked me to officiate, I was taken back. I was speechless, which also is, uncommon for me. And I found it necessary in that conversation and every discussion we had since, there was a fact that wasn't brought up that the two of you didn't share with me. Maybe you don't know it, I think you do, and that was that my Uncle Forrest married my wife Jen and I here in Lake Tahoe 27 years ago. So not only am I honored to be in front of you right now, but I thank you for officially making this a family tradition. And now you've put pressure on Drew, JD, and Megan. So I had asked Kirsty and Jake some questions about their relationship. And sure, I got the memorial moment or the memorable moments. Jake said, when he said he loved you, your trip to Paris during COVID, and then of course your engagement. But there's one particular answer that I really wanted to share with everybody here, and that was, how do they know each other was the one. And so, you guys know Jake and Kirsty were friends, and well, I guess really more acquaintances, friend group, I think was what you said to me. And Jake decided that he was going to ask Kirsty out. Now, I found his timing incredible. He decided the appropriate time to ask her out was after his AP Calculus exam. Nothing says romance like AP Calc. And of course, those of you know Kirsty really well, you won't be surprised to learn that Kirsty made a list of the things that she wanted in a partner. And this guy, Jake, she went through that list and said, you know what? He actually hits a lot of items on that list. And these are her words. I think I'll give him a chance. So like every love story that unfolds, they had their ups and downs, right, along the way. And Jake told me he realized that he's going to have to woo Kirsty. Now, I think his actual words were earn her back. But my version of this story is he was wooing you, okay? And he decided that it was on a trip to Mission Beach with some friends that he was going to woo you. Now, for you, I was suspecting that you were thinking maybe it was just, I'm going to get out of the brutal summer of Arizona and get some beach time. But that trip is when Jake knew that you were the one. Well, that realization, of course, had some challenges. Kirsty went off to school, or they went off to school apart. Kirsty went off to some school in Tempe, while Jake went to a highly distinguished university in Tucson. So, now this period though made them stronger, and I read your answer that I wanted to share. I'm gonna try and get through this because I found it. I knew that there wouldn't be anything in this life that we couldn't tackle together and still come out stronger. And so, folks, their future together was inevitable, and we are now here today. Now, you also shared some additional information with me, and that was some wisdom your mother Karen said to you. And that was respect is the foundation of any successful relationship. And the two of you are built with this foundation of respect for one another. A true sense of adventure and a desire to grow as individuals and to grow as a couple. All right? So I got some wisdom of my own. Prepared for this? I can tell Kirsty's getting nervous. It's titled Common Sense and Living a Happy Marriage. Now, this was shared with me and my wife on our wedding day. The source is anonymous, so I'm going to own it, okay? It says, never both be angry at once. Never yell at each other, and of course, unless you're losing your hearing. Yield to the other, if only as an exercise in self-discipline, even if you can't think of a better reason. If you have a choice in making yourself or your mate look good, make it your mate. If you have any criticism, make it lovingly. Never bring up a mistake of the past. Neglect the whole world rather than each other. Put your marriage first over children, over work, and over your parents. Never let a day end without saying one complimentary thing about your life's partner. Never meet without an affectionate welcome. Never let the sun go down on an argument unresolved. And when you do wrong, talk it out and ask for forgiveness. Probably good for all of us, right? I like to add my own here. I'd like you to keep your sense of humor and be who you are. Self-proclaimed nerds. I had to share the part about them building Legos and playing with Pokemon cards. But let's be very clear. We love you both very, very much because of who you are. So with that, the couple has decided an additional way to solidify their commitment. They have chosen to affirm their love through a whiskey blending unity ritual. So I could ask Karen and Stephanie to help us out here. Go. Hold all of it, won't it? That's enough, and then do the rest, and then we'll do the rest. So Jake and Kirsty, you are bringing your, can you hear me? Jake and Kirsty, you're bringing your individual selves into this marriage, each with your strengths and your weaknesses. Much like the spirits you're now blending together. The hope is that as you blend these two different spirits with each passing month, with each passing year, the mixing and the aging of these spirits will result in something new, something richer, something flavorful, much like a good marriage should be. And so a year from today, you will sit next to each other. You will reminisce about this beautiful day and you will pour yourselves a glass of this new flavorful whiskey you created together. So thank you, Karen and Stephanie, for helping us. We're organizing the table for you. So the bride and groom have prepared their own vows. So Jake.
All right. Kirsty, I told you when we got engaged that I was saving my words for today, so I will try not to disappoint. Seeing you today, I know I am the luckiest guy in the world because I get to marry someone as beautiful and amazing as you. It's crazy to think that this all started when we shared a class together senior year of high school. Talking to you every day in that class made me realize what an amazing person you truly are. I remember playing cup pong weeks before prom, hanging with you at Calc Camp, and laughing together as we joked about Mr. Peterson audio feedback messages. And those moments I still cherish today. In those moments I knew in our separate ways to college, I knew deep down that this would not be the end. When you came down to Tucson to visit and I saw you again, all of those emotions came rushing back. So much so I remember talking with Cody later that week about wanting to get back together with you. I knew distance would be a challenge, but I knew that you were worth whatever it took. Driving back and forth can be tedious, but I remember how excited I felt every time I drove to Phoenix, knowing I was going to be hanging with you all weekend. I was so lucky to have you in my life. All throughout college, you were there for me when my life was tough or when I just needed someone to talk to, aka most of the fraternity days. Since we started living together and our life has progressed further, my feelings for you have only gotten stronger. Every day you challenge and inspire me to become a better person and have helped shape me into the man I am today. You have so many amazing qualities, and I want to share the ones that I admire most. You are the most intelligent and driven person I have ever met. Every task you take on, you put every ounce of energy to making sure it's done perfectly. Even when your slate is completely full, with pressure from planning a wedding, you still are focused on how you can help take the stress off of others. Number 2, you are the most caring and selfless person that I have ever met. Even if you are on the verge of a panic attack from work or something else, you are still thinking about how to accommodate others. I still can't believe that in the middle of wedding planning and everything else going on, you went out of your way to plan a surprise birthday for me. I thought it was one of the most thoughtful and caring things I have ever seen. But for Kirsty, it's just normal. Your mom always tells me that your biggest attribute growing up was your heart. And I know that could not be more true. I know there's nothing that you would not do for the people that you love. And I know that no matter what is going on in your life, you would drop everything in order to help a friend in need. 3, of all the people you support, I'm truly thankful for the support that you provide me every day. You are truly my number one supporter and are always the first person on the side defending me. Even if I probably don't deserve to be defended, you still will be there for me no matter what. After a tough day of work or when I'm just feeling down, you are always there to make me laugh and cheer me up. I know sometimes I can lose it and start screaming at the TV when the Steelers are losing or during a game of Madden, but you are always there to calm me down and make me feel better. I always know that no matter what happens, I will always have you by my side. 4, you make my life so much better in so many ways. I love that I always feel like I can just be myself with you. Every day, I look forward to being with you, and I always have an amazing time, whether it's going out on a date, planning an activity like an escape room, or even just chilling on the opposite ends of the couch, watching our shows. I'm always happy to be with you. 5, you're the most creative and artistic person that I have ever met. Whether it's designing the house or creating all the signs for our wedding, I'm always truly amazed by how talented you are. Just looking at the things you have created for your Etsy, I'm blown away by all the things that you can do. You have so many qualities that make you the person you are, and I just hope that I can do my best to be as amazing for you as you are for me. I can't believe that the wedding day is here. I have been so excited for this moment for so long. For those of you who know me well, when I drink, I tend to repeat the last thing on my mind for the remainder of the night. You can ask any of my friends and family, but for many years, the thought I repeated was how much I loved and wanted to marry you. I remember one Sunday morning in fall of 2022, Cole was picking me up to go watch football at my parents' place, like always. And I remember looking at him and saying, I think I'm going to do it. All he replied, what, bet the Browns +3? I said, no, I'm going to propose. And from that point on, my repeated line was that I couldn't believe the proposal was so soon. Planning the proposal was one of my favorite memories. I just couldn't wait for you to be my fiance. And as what seems to be a tradition, after the proposal, the new repeated line was, I cannot believe the wedding is almost here. To make a long story short, I've always known that you were the one. Because I know that I have never been able to shut up about how much I love you. Over the years, we've shared so many memories. Day drinking in Flagstaff for our anniversary and then watching movies all night, traveling to Europe and deliriously walking around London, jet-lagged looking for food, or staying out till 2 a.m. at the Lido show and catching a 5 a.m. flight the next day, going to Disney, getting drunk at the Star Wars cantina, and then having to wait in line for 2 hours for the ride, which led us to taking a nap at 3. And let's not forget all the amazing trips to Tahoe, which ultimately led us to be here today. I'm so grateful for all these memories and all the many more that we have shared. I'm so excited because I know that this is only the beginning. I cannot wait for what the rest of my life has to offer with you. I cannot wait for all the experiences we will share in the next phase of our life, and I promise that you are always my number one priority in all of them. I promise to always be there for you when you are stressed and to do my best to calm you down with work or even if it's me. I promise to support you no matter what and do my best to take as much off of your plate as possible. And mostly though, I promise that we will have the best possible life together that you can have because we deserve it.
Want to talk that?
No.
Okay. Okay. Jake, my bub. As you and everyone else knows, I'm a planner. I plan my days with to-do lists. I make the most extra itineraries for even the most casual weekend trips. And needless to say, I planned the hell out of this wedding. It's no surprise that even as a child, I had a vision and plan for my future. Where I'd live, what job I would have, most importantly, the kind of man I would marry. As much as I'd like to think that I had something to do with it, no amount of plans could have made a more perfect person for me than you. You're everything I've always wanted and hoped for, but at the same time, everything I never even knew I needed. You have shown me that sometimes the best parts of life are the ones that can't be planned. The more I've thought about it, the more I realized that you've always been there when I didn't even know it. Growing up within 15 minutes of each other, living practically parallel lives in so many ways, there's a strange comfort in knowing that my soulmate was so close all along without any plan ever needed. In high school, we continued to cross paths. We even shared the same friends, were at the same parties, but it wasn't until our senior year that we truly connected. Our first conversation was all it took for me to know that I couldn't imagine a life without you in it. Our initial friendship laid the foundation for the rest of our relationship, and while I won't spend this precious time revisiting every single detail of our entire story, I just want you to know that I could not be more grateful for every single moment that led us here today. My life motto has always been everything happens for a reason. I used to think that this just meant that everything we face in life, bad or good, has a bigger purpose. While I still believe this to be true, what I know now is that, Jake, you are my reason. You are my everything. You're the reason I'm standing here and the woman that I am today. No matter where I am, as long as I'm with you, I am home. If I could, I would stand here for hours so I could share all the things that I love about you. But even that wouldn't be enough. As you know, in true Kirsty fashion, since the day we were engaged, I have been writing all my notes on my phone of all the reasons I love you, hoping to find the perfect words for today. But that resulted in over 2,000 words over the past 2 years, and I know you're not a reader, so I'll give you the Cliff Notes. I love your loyalty, strength, intelligence, and seemingly never-ending patience. I love your competitiveness in all things and how this translates to your ambition to drive and succeed in life. I love how deeply you love the people you care about and all the people you bring with you. I love you for allowing me to see all of you, and not just what the rest of the world sees, especially in your rare moments of vulnerability. I love seeing you with the cats and envisioning how wonderful and loving of a father you'll be one day. I love how you quote movies, but you don't care that I don't know the references, and how you talk to yourself having a full-blown conversation with no one else in the room. I love how you've helped me to care less what other people think and always bring out the best in me. I love how independent you are, and how we made long-distance an opportunity to make our love and trust that much stronger. I love that you never get angry with me, no matter how little I know about sports, how many times I ask if you're okay, how many seconds are left in the microwave, or how many Amazon boxes are delivered. I love our weird rituals, like saying that's very nice to ghost, and the bean, waving to each other from across the couch, and singing glorious food when our Uber Eats arrives. But most of all, I love you for respecting all parts of me, especially in the moments when I'm not so easy to love. Thank you for believing me, for seeing me in good, bad, sickness, and health, and loving me nonetheless. Just know that to me, there is no greater honor in my life than being the person that gets to love you unconditionally, and to be there for you and have you as my husband. I promise to always be the person you can rely on, in your corner, and to always have your back. Not every day will be perfect, but I promise that I will always put in the effort, especially on the days when life gets hard. I promise to support you in your passions and what makes you happy, whether it's football on Sundays at your parents', zips with Cole on Saturdays, or beating Pokemon if it's the last thing you do. I promise to try and limit the times I make you try on clothes and never go easy on a game of cards. I promise to continue to play fantasy football to increase my football literacy and to be a Steelers fan for life. I promise to be the first to apologize when I'm wrong and never let us go to bed angry. I promise to be there for you in both your brightest days and darkest hours, and show you the same love, patience, and understanding that you show me. Whether we're celebrating an amazing news with the chicken, or I can comfort you in times of loss and sorrow. I promise to continue to learn the best ways I can show up for you and love you every day. I promise that our marriage will always be my first priority, to consider you in your happiness in all of my decisions. Jake, today I stand here with you and all of our favorite people as witnesses, not with a plan, because I will always have plenty of those, but with only my vows and promises to love you unconditionally, to respect you, and to be there for you as your best friend, your little bub, your person, and your wife, above all. Ready to embrace whatever life may bring us for the rest of our lives together as one. I love you today, I love you tomorrow, and I love you forever.
Cole, do you have something for me? It's making a puddle on me here. All right. Let these perfect circles symbolize the path you set upon together. Endless, open, gleaming, and priceless. May you wear them always as a reminder of the unbreakable bond you share. Let the timeless beauty of these precious metals recall the love of the families, friends, and mentors who helped forge in you a core of confidence and compassion. Jake, repeat after me. Kirsty, I love you. I promise to support and encourage you.
Kirsty, I love you and promise to support and encourage you.
I promise to laugh with you in times of joy and comfort you in times of sorrow.
I promise to laugh with you in times of joy and comfort you in times of sorrow.
From this day forward to death do us part.
From this day forward till death do us part.
Kirsty, repeat after me. Jake, I love you. I promise to support and encourage you.
Jake, I love you and I promise to support and encourage you.
I promise to laugh with you in times of joy and comfort you in times of sorrow.
I promise to laugh with you in times of joy and comfort you in times of sorrow.
From this day forward, to death do us part.
From this day forward till death do us part.
A successful marriage takes more than just love. It takes hard work and patience. It takes a commitment and trust. Marriage requires courage, an open mind, and a heart full of hope. Jake, do you promise to respect, care for, and love her unconditionally from this day forward?
I do.
Kirsty, do you promise to respect, care for, and love him unconditionally from this day forward?
I do.
Jake and Kirsty, you came today in the presence of family and friends to express your devotion to each other. Your lives have been changed forever. May your lives together be blessed with prosperity and moments to renew your love. May your love be a source of passion and excitement, and may each day together be filled with laughter and friendship. So, by the power invested in me by the state of California and American Marriage Ministries, I now pronounce you Jake and Kirsty LaSalle. You might want to
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with peace and